Well, guys, as you can see, the guys with the fishing line are chasing everybody off the beach because as they walk, they have to push everybody to the right of them. This was packed. You'll hear the people probably. I don't know. I have my microphone on, but there's a ton of people out swimming today. But they've been moved to the right more and more and more because they got the big fishing net out and they're pulling it in. So yeah. So I'm gonna have a nice private beach in a minute because yeah, they're all being moved away. So let's get this started here. Rotate you guys back around and off the ceiling and down. All right. Hang on. I got to make sure that's okay. The guys are doing those repairs to the screen to make sure it stays flat and doesn't twist and bind and everything else. Anyway, good morning, everybody, or good evening to most of you, I know. Got my morning coffee here. We're good to go. Whew, it's hot, though. Oh, it is hot. I should have put a fan out here. Maybe later. I don't know. We'll see. There's no breeze, but beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful. Considering how much rain we've been getting and everything, I'm not going to complain. It only comes at night. And very little. Like last time was just a little. I'm not complaining. I don't want lots, that's for sure. But you know when it's going to cool off here in the Philippines because it'll just get really cold all of a sudden. You're like, okay, it's going to rain. So that's the best way to know if the rain is on its way, is if all of a sudden it gets cold. As you know, cold is not a thing here, right? So hello to all you guys. Thank you very much from all over the world here. As usual, you guys are awesome. And today I don't have a specific topic unless you guys bring something up here. There is times where I'm going to ask you guys to, just ask whatever you like, and then I'll jump in there. I'm sure I'll think of something though. I just woke up last night. So Catherine has never seen like most movies. This is the cool thing. When you have a new girlfriend, you like to show them the world. Show them things that you knew and maybe they never knew before. Well, in my case, it's American movies, right? Like she's never seen anything, so everything I show her is like brand new. Now that we have the giant movie screen and everything, every night there was something. Right now we're going on the binge of Godfather movies, and she loves them. We just watched Godfather 1. But that also means we were up till 3 o'clock in the morning watching it last night, because anybody knows that movie's like 3 hours long, right? And she loved it. I couldn't believe it. She was excited to watch the second one, and I'm like, it's 3 in the morning. I can't do that. But it's so amazing to lay out there. All you hear, because it was high tide at night, is the crashing waves. It's absolutely gorgeous. Life is amazing, like it just like, oh, this is so great. And the bar, now that we're going out of the busy season, we changed our hours. So we're actually closed by midnight now. And often, like 30 minutes before close, it's already empty. And I just tell them, okay, go ahead and close it up. So, yeah, we got a little more time on our hands nowadays. I'm not happy that we have less sales, don't get me wrong. But it's certainly, the benefit of that kind of thing. But also a lot of our employees have taken off to go back to school. Another one's had to leave to go help her grandmother, that kind of thing. And so we actually reduced our staff at the same time as business goes down. So not particularly complaining. That's great. We won't replace them because we will be definitely overstaffed based on the new volume that we're going to do every day. But there's more and more places that are opening up, and it'll spread out the number of people. But I do know that the fact that Rojas is getting all this new stuff coming in also means we become more of an attraction. More people will come and to check things out. More word is getting out, that kind of thing. And in the long run, it helps everybody. So, and Mo's place will be open October 21 or something like that. Something like that, third week of October, something. And then that will be another big thing out here. But October is like he's going to be coming into better season. It's really end of November, but gives him a month to, work through the difficulties and the things that are eventually inevitably going to happen. Sorry. So anyway, so it's going to be cool. Good morning, Eric. Thank you very much for the 250 peso super chat, and I really appreciate you, Eric. You're awesome. You're always so supportive. So anyway, you can ask any questions you like on here or anything, and we will definitely be. I'll jump in and I'll answer them, no problem. But otherwise, we'll come up with that. Yeah, how do these new vlogging laws affect your channel? Well, it's not new. I know we keep saying this, and I've said it before. The law isn't new. A circular came out. Okay, a circular is like not a memo. It's like better than a memo, right? From the Privacy Commission, warning people that the existing law, they can't make laws, right? They enforce the law. They are the Privacy Commission, so they provide nuance and explanations into things, and they direct authorities and stuff like that when it comes to the privacy law, right? Laws have to be voted on and passed by different levels of government in order to become law, right? So you can't just make a law. They create a bill and then they vote on it, and then it goes to the Senate and they do the same thing, and then it all goes to the president and all that, right? That's how you make a law. Or there can be an executive order from the president, right? That kind of thing. So that's how they make laws. So the Privacy Commission doesn't have that power. What they are empowered by the privacy laws. So it's not a new law. The law is actually from 2012, but they've kind of expanded on it. I have talked to my congressman here, and we talked about the details of it, and he did point out, yes, the circular will dramatically affect tourism, the way it's written, because he can see how that can be read that way, because they didn't like say, as per this circular plus the law is what we're talking about. Instead, they just put the circular. So if you only read the circular and you didn't read the law, it sounds like, okay, this is the death of anybody finding out about the Philippines anymore. Because, he admits the same thing. Like, if you read just the circular, even the Filipinos here, you couldn't film a parade anymore, right? Which nobody is intending you to not be able to film a parade or a fiesta or the big events. Technically, a political rally, anything could be filmed and put online, because you got to keep in mind, the law doesn't care. The privacy law doesn't say, oh, you can break somebody's privacy laws or identify them and all that stuff, as long as it's not monetized. No, the law doesn't care if you're monetized or not. The point is that you can't be identifying people online regardless if there's money or not. So anything listed publicly on the internet, and it doesn't say just video. It could be like you could post it all over Facebook. Like some vloggers are. That's the type of vlogging they do. They read a big thing about it and they do lots of pictures of an event and maybe one little video clip. But anyway, that's how it's been explained to me, is that yes, the law is actually the digital privacy law that's from 2012, and the circular is the Privacy Commission, who is responding to people like Vitali, right, who has been a problem, and warning people and all that stuff. And then people take and play telephone, right? So you get that people grabbing the message and passing it on. And so yes, there was a senator that got up in the Senate and said that he would like to see the law say that you have to register if you're a vlogger and all that stuff. That was one guy, just to be clear. it's not law. It was never passed. It never went anywhere. That was the end of that. The infrastructure alone would be crazy. The enforcement would be crazy, difficult. Philippines has bigger problems than that. So anyway, regardless, it's not law. So there's a lot of things people are spreading around that, oh, well, if you're monetized, if you're a foreigner and you have to register, all that's all not real news, okay? That's not in the law. It's not true, none of that stuff. That's why when I get the comments now, I just like, read the law. Because they act like this is the law. And I'm like, oh my God, stop it. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Read the law and go from there, like all of it. And don't just read the circular that just came out, put the whole context in. Because at the end of the day, if you go to court, it's going to be the law that will be applied. So you can, yes, anyway. And also, don't forget, in order for, you just have to read the law to know that you have to go to the police department if you feel like your identity was leaked online. And then you have to go and you have to file charges. And then the police are going to look at it and they're going to have to determine if an illegal act happened here based on the law. And then they will have to decide if the resources of the police and the prosecutors and everything else are reasonable. Now in the Philippines, there is this funny thing where, well, not funny thing, but it's almost like a balance because there is no juries in the Philippines. Everything is strictly just based on a judge and the law. But they do have something that most countries do not have, that do have juries, and that is if the police and the prosecution refuse to charge you, like to press charges, the victim can actually just hire a lawyer and your lawyer will be the prosecutor and force the whole thing, the whole action, criminally, not civilly. Like anybody can civilly sue. I get that in the other countries, but they can actually, here in the Philippines, they can turn around and they can, you can press charges yourself with your own lawyer criminally. Now, you'll be bearing the cost of it all and everything else, but it is possible to do. Anyway, that's enough on the law thing, though. I know not a lot of people are. How many people in here are going to be YouTubers, and how many is this going to apply to? Anyway, so we had another super chat here, so I'm not going to miss you, I promise. Howdy from Ventura, California. Thank you very much, Brian, for the $2 super chat. Canadian, eh? Well, actually, it's California, eh? But Canadian, eh? I'm going to go get my fan, actually. I am baking out here, especially you got me talking about something I get heated about. Anyway, I still, I leave it with that the congressman said that he'll be talking amongst their own thing, and hopefully there will be a revision put out with the right verbiage, being more explanation, like providing a more extensive explanation, and so that people really understand. No, the house is not for sale, Brian, because I couldn't find anything on the beach that I wanted. And I went up and down, and you'll see, I have videos of me like making deals to rent places, and then they turn around and either raise the price to 80,000 pesos from, or agreed upon 25,000. And plus they were like, oh, and the roof's leaking and all this, and I would have to fix everything for them. And then another one who said, okay, yeah, you fix our whole place up. We'll let you have it for 25,000, but in 12 months you have to get out. And I said, I'm not spending all this money fixing up your place just so that when I'm finished the work, I have to get out. So that didn't work out. So anyway, I tried everything. Couldn't find anything on this beach, and I really wanted to be on this beach. And so when I saw this one, 20,000 a month, and he's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. And I said, okay, but if I do the work, I need to be here longer term, because I'm going to take whatever money I spend in this and I'm going to divide it by, say, 3 years, 36 months. And so it makes sense for me. So I'm willing to pay 30,000. I was. And if I'm paying 20, that means I got 36 months. Okay, I'm willing to put in 360,000 pesos into this property to make it the most beautiful thing I ever wanted. And that'll be like, I paid 30,000 a month. And that's what I did. And now you see I got everything here. I pay 20,000 a month, but let's be honest, I put in enough money that at the end of my term, assuming I don't renew, that I paid 30,000 a month. But I got 30,000 a month for Paradise, and I guarantee you, he's going to rent it out for 40 plus after I'm gone. So it is what it is. But I could have not rented anything that I could have rented like in the city or some paid 15, 20, you know, of course, and still just said one day I'll live my dream. Or I could just say, screw it, I'm going to live my dream and enjoy it. And I do. I sit out here and enjoy this beach every single day, every night, you know. I don't spend a lot of time indoors, so it was worth it for me. Not to everybody else, I get it. Hello from California, hello, hello. Fresh fish, yes, that's true. It'll be pulled in the next, they're still a long way out, but they've moved all the way down there. They're pushing the people further and further and further away. But yeah, it won't be long. 10 p.m. in Ontario, that's right, 12 hours. In Ohio as well. Good morning, Bob. Back to 100K. I know, right? You know, I joke with Catherine. I'm like, you know, if I didn't meet you, I would have been rocking this. But it's worth it. Come on. Her and Laura are worth it. How hot is it? It's 41. Yeah, I don't think it's 40s. It's in the 30s. Maybe 37, 38 here, Celsius. So look at you, Robert. Look at you. You know your Celsius very well. You come to the Philippines too much. I like an excuse to watch old movie. Yeah, same here. Same here. She doesn't care. I can watch whatever I want, but she was really into it. Yeah, I'm fixed, Ronald, so I'm snipped. There's plenty of kids you can adopt. You know, is this great couple that came in with their whole family, American Filipino, right? And they were, I think they're just, right now they're still working in the U.S. and going back and forth. Yeah, they are. And I guess they had met one of the children that was either orphaned in some way, and that is here in the beach area. I don't think she's homeless or anything. I believe she's staying like just kind of grouped in with the families, like compound family or something like that. I don't know the exact details, to be honest. But anyway, they found her, and then they realized like they could help this girl, and so they're working. They're in the process now of adopting this girl, and how amazing is that? And then they told Catherine that anytime that girl wants to eat at the Beaver, that she will send the money Gcash, and we are to feed her meals, right? So she can eat meals at our bar, and then they just send the money to Catherine on Gcash. So, like, how nice is these people, right? While they do the process of the adoption. So that's really awesome of them. Really, really great. And we made sure to invite the girl to come with the families here for the movie night also. Absolutely amazing, though. There's not, you know, a lot of people that think that there might be a lot of orphan children here, and that there isn't that many in this area. Mostly because I think the extended families are just too big. There's too many cousins, right? Like that, like even in Catherine's case, Catherine's brother isn't her brother. And that's just one of the cousins that, you know, is not there for their child. So the grandmother now is raising the child for the rest of their life. It's a new interpretation of the law. Yeah, but you still have to use the law, right? Like, so in the court of law, they don't bring out memos. They bring out the law. So a judge still has to go based on the law. So at least that's how it's been described to me. So yes, the Privacy Commission can use it to charge people or something like that. Again, it's not the Privacy Commission that's charging you, it's the police. And you'll go through the whole procedures, and the prosecution has to get involved and everything. If there's an illegal act involved, you're guaranteed to be charged. And again, like, there are so many things in this country here that people, I think people lose sight of the fact that they don't have a lot of time for stuff that's not really illegal. You know, like, they're not going to make things up just to go after somebody. There's just too many other things. There's too many real laws to go and enforce, and unless you think that they have billions of dollars for, you know, to have big data centers and you know, 1,000 reviewers to go over things, and like, no, that's not a thing. And if you want something charged in the Philippines, the victim has to come forward and has to prove their part, their case. And I can tell you, like, it's difficult. if something happens to you here in the Philippines, if a woman gets raped or something big like that happens, it is very difficult to get justice at all. Okay, it's a big process, and it's a small system that can help them. To give you an example, just Highway Patrol Group, that once I give you tickets here, this entire province, the head of the Highway Patrol Group tells me he's only got 6 officers. 6 officers for the entire province. So just, that should probably give you enough context. Okay. Can't wait till November, then 4 months in the Philippines. Fantastic. I'm going to get my fan before I melt away here. Are you tired of the beach? No, it's actually quite cool most of the time, but not, when they're in the beating sun like this. But being at the beach, generally we have a breeze. Right now we have 0 breeze, and it's beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, as long as I could still see the ocean, so I may want land, because there's a lot more land and less to deal with if you're right on the beach, like on a hilltop, facing out, that you see the beach, you see the city, you see all that stuff. That sounds attractive to me too. Hello from Florida. Hello, Bob. Good morning. Hey, Bancroft, Ontario. Enjoy your videos following your journey. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Sorry, I didn't mean to go fast through that, Lukey boy. Thanks for being a member too, Brian. You're awesome. Good evening from the East Coast. See you at the Beaver next spring. Fantastic. Seems like little city you chose is growing and your business will be booming. Yeah, it's a good, I might have been too soon to come in, but maybe I'm, just being there is actually contributing to the growth. Well, obviously, we're now definitely over 200, probably 300 now. Foreigners come to Rojas City for the first time, or for the only reason, but because of the Beaver or the YouTube or whatever. So I definitely do contribute in a very big way, but yeah. Wondering how the gardening is going on the other property. Actually, we just put out a video 3 days, I think 3 videos ago, has an update at the farm. We went to the farm and we filmed it. So it's going good. It's going good. We're on our second harvest now, so everything had to be replanted and everything, but you can see how everything's growing up. All we got is cucumbers from the first one, a lot of them, so that was good. But this one, now that they planted more local tomato type stuff and everything else, it looks like the tomatoes will actually grow this time, because these ones are made for the climate here. So we'll see. I think so. As long as you're smart with your money, from high season. Yeah, well, not really. So I wanted to give you an idea. So, when you have a beach place, right? We're talking 10% of the amount of business you'll do. And in the Philippines, this isn't the West, right, where you pay by the hour. So if it's slow, you send everybody home and only keep a couple people. No, in the Philippines, you have to pay for the full day, right? And you still got to pay all their taxes and their SSS, their Patty Big, and all that stuff. There's so many of the government agencies you got to pay. So anyway, your labor cost is pretty much fixed. Yes, you can bring them down to, for a little while, you could go bring them to 4 days a week instead of 5 days a week or something like that. But they generally are not very happy about that. So you'll have very upset people if you really start cutting them back. So your labor cost is kind of fixed. And there are certain materials that, I don't know. I'm working on that now, actually. We're having because even when we have less sales, I'd be like, why is the shopping almost 100% of our sales? What's going on? And they're like, well, you still got to buy the gas. You got to, the gas. And I'm like, well, start turning the gas off. There's nobody there then, because the burners are all just waiting, And there's things, but I'm not going to pretend I have it all figured out. I really don't, because it's... Anyway, but yeah, it's a massive decline in business when it comes to the beach from the busy season. But we also made a lot of sticks in the busy season. I learned a lot of lessons. Like we said about our anniversary, we're absolutely packed, but our sales were really low. Well, it turns out we had all these part-timers that were brought in just for that. And then we had all these students that were only 2 days on the job that the university sent their OJ on-the-job training for 1 semester, month and a half. And now that we're reviewing CCTV and everything, we saw that, when a customer says, hey, can I get another bucket of beer? They went over and they got it. but many things were ordered from the kitchen, from everywhere, from getting beer. They would never bill to the customers. And so we didn't make any money. As crazy as that is. The busiest day ever, we made no money. So there, all kinds of things were implemented after. Like we thought that we had it all covered, obviously, but completely wrong. And I know, I'm going to get a lot of hate because I actually admit my mistakes, but it happens. And it's not really my mistakes, it's a bunch of people's mistakes. I can't physically be involved at the restaurant. I can't, I can only oversee the investment of my trust. That's how it works. But yeah, that's why I spend all my time just chatting with the customers and hanging out. No, we do have some originals, but no, yeah. But the thing is the places that have the lowest turnover, we do have people from the beginning. You generally will then you have to hire older people. You hire the people in their 40s, 50s, that kind of thing. They're less likely to go off to Boracay to get a wicked job at a resort. Like if you're a 19, 20-year-old, you're going to want to go and work in Boracay and live on that cool island, and or go to Manila, or go to finish university and then go to whatever job you were planning to do. This is like a stepping stone for a lot of people when you're younger. But if we hire a lot of older people, then you're more likely to have longer term employees. Now we have fired people for theft in more than one case, that kind of thing. And yeah, we've had some legal action. One of them we are going to be putting in jail, unfortunately. So that kind of stuff, doesn't matter the age. So I'm the guy that rented the place in Iloilo after seeing your video last week. Hey, congratulations, Mike. Congratulations. That's fantastic. Somebody, by the way, rented another one that he hadn't even finished the house yet. And they're putting it out soon. And I guess apparently that one rented as well. So congratulations, Mike. That's really awesome. And now you're really close. You're really close to everything in Iloilo, and just a short drive down. All right, excuse me for 1 minute, guys. I'm going to put you back over to the beach for a second. I'm going to go get my fan. I'm dying. I'm smelting here. How do I press this? I think it's already pressed. Oh, there it is. We're going to turn you around for a second. There we go. Whoa, don't fall. Nobody on the beach at the moment, I know. They're all pushed away for the fishing. Stay safe. Be a lot better. Now we turn it back around. No, we'll go this way. And back down, down, down. There we go. Whew. Man, I'm boiling. All right, fan's nice. Yeah, that's good. Shouldn't hit the mic too. What a crazy, beautiful day though. Robert, that's awesome to hear, Michael. I am finding that to be the same thing. My fiance, we wind down at the end of the evening. I'm finding out all the American movies, yeah, are new to her. Exactly. It's so true. Yeah, the evenings, I love it. You know, like it's very hard for me to be a morning person. It's just because of a bar, but it's so peaceful at night. And I think it's just because my life is a little too crazy. Like everywhere I go, I have to like talk to a lot of people and everything else. And like I love that we have an office now, because you know, like I have no alone time, and that's my like alone time now. So like often I'm like I go to edit, and the edit should only take me 3 hours or 2.5 hours or something, but I'll be there for 6 hours, and I will just, you know, f the dog. I just sit there and I put a podcast over here or whatever. I do a little bit here and there. I'm no interest to leave. I just love it. It's silent in there, and I could just relax, put my feet up, and then she'll be like, "What time are you coming home?" Like, because she does, you know, she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. She wants like all my time, and I'm. Everybody needs their own space, right? You need a little bit of time to yourself, and that's my peace. I would say this is my piece, but if I wasn't live streaming, I assure you, they're in there right now. They'd be all out here right now and just going on and on and on. And 4-year-olds love to talk to a lot, and I'm the favorite. So, whew, yeah, it's worth it. But oh my gosh, you need a few minutes. You need some alone time, some time to yourself, and yeah. So I do love my office for that. Greetings from Dublin. Thank you very much, TJ Travels. Hey, we got another one here. What is the return on investment of the Beaver? Well, Brian, I had 2 months where we had operating profit. Two this year. It's what? July in 6. You know, the rest, there was probably a couple very, very close to zero. But I was recently looking at all the numbers again, and because there were some tax bills that I had to, you know, that I were looking at, and I was like, was that included in that spreadsheet? Oh no, those weren't, because they're quarterly, right? So there's certain ones that you have to pay quarterly to them. And I'm like, well, if I take that and divide it by 3, and I put it into, or 4, sorry, no, 3. If I put that into the figures, were we even profitable? Those ones that we were saying we were profitable, because they were pretty smaller numbers. They weren't even big numbers. And sure enough, I think we were very close to a small profit then. Let's just say that, at best, once you factor in all the taxes, because yeah, there's always more taxes. Always. It's just like, oh, by the way, I need another this and that, and I'm like, what? Where? What? How? So anyway. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. But keep in mind, all you have to do is look at the original size of the Beaver. When you saw it in the very first video, it's this tiny little thing, right? Now look at it. Like, it's a bit more than double the size. It has so much going for it. Like, it's ready. And so the infrastructure of the place, the value of the restaurant as a hard asset, although you have to lease the land, but you have the buildings. And I know people are like, oh, that's terrible. And I'm like, well, most commercial real estate works that way. But it's still got its value, because the owners own the whole beach, or not the whole beach, but a big stretch of the beach. And so everybody on there sells their business with the property as a lease. And so I have the value there. There is value in it. But would I say there's a return on investment? No, not yet. Not yet. And at the end of the day, I could make way far more money anyway if I was not doing the restaurant. So if it was about money, yeah. Are you guys coming again? Well, for Catherine, for Laura, for like that whole thing. Maybe one day for just them, but I don't think so. Like I have to go visit my mother in Panama. And I've talked about this before. My brother and my father passed away last year. So I would go to Panama next, because my mother really, really needed it. Vitaly really ruined it for everyone. Yeah, honestly, he hurt all vloggers worldwide. Let's be honest. That guy is. Yeah, he caused a problem. And there's others. There's others out there that continue to, not to his level, but pretty bad for the vlogging industry. Let's just say, and that's a concern, obviously, that there are still guys out there who, it's almost like they're like, let's see if they actually can do something about this, or they're like tempting fate. And I believe in like that whole Icarus thing. If you fly too close to the sun, you'll get burned, and maybe they'll get burned. But the chances of them getting burned, sadly, and the truth of the matter is, unlikely. The wheels move very slowly, and you really, like, look how many times that guy got away with it before he got actually slammed down on. Like, he was terrible, and yet he got over it, got away with it. He did all over the world, so it's not just the Philippines thing. Like America, they had a thing with that, and he got kicked out of there or something like that. But it was other countries that were fine. They would just throw him out. They just finally, just get out of my country sort of thing. They chase him out. So, well, the funny thing is above it all is then why didn't they go after any of those vloggers? Like, there are walking tour guys that all they do is that, and they literally put children on their front covers. And I don't understand why they aren't being, like, if anything, that you want low-hanging fruit here, the guys that literally just go down in the slums and that's their only thing, and that's all their videos, and they put the cover of like young, like under 12-year-old girls in soaking wet t-shirts and looking like this, and like that's what he's putting, and nobody gives them any trouble at all. They're not in any trouble. So I don't think it's not about that at all, it would be that, and it's not. So I don't see it. It's I think most of the vloggers are showing like the stuff they think is cool here in the Philippines. If you look at the whole of it, you can pick out 5%, 10%, maybe at most, but most people are just like, I'm living here now, let me show you all the cool shit I can find. And there is a lot of cool shit here, to be very honest. If you are coming here with the right mentality, if you're coming here going, oh, it should look like Dubai, well, you're not going to be very happy most of the time. But if you came here because, like I did, I spent most of my time going on vacation in Mexico, Costa Rica, other South American, Central American, I should say, countries. If you were just spending all your time going on vacations there, and then you're like, that's it. I didn't want to. The Philippines was never in my head, just to give it very clear, but it ended up that way. And then you come here, well, this is going to feel like paradise, to be honest. It certainly feels safer than Mexico or Costa Rica or those kind of places, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, definitely. The Philippines and Thailand have been getting hammered with new age blogs and YouTube channels for real. We all wouldn't know half this shit if it wasn't for this. Yeah, it's not, I think it like the pandemic was the peak. There was way more, right? Now there's much less. And I think if you notice something, like if you're here in the Philippines, just open your Facebook, all right? And just scroll and scroll and scroll. How many Filipinos are talking about this? Not that many. How many foreigners are talking about this? All of them. The foreigners are the experts. Look at all the comments and everything. It's all experts, foreigner experts, foreigner experts. Filipinos' daily life, I assure you, it's not in their wheelhouse. Politicians here in the Philippines, it's a popularity contest, right? And it is 24/7 for them. They wake up early. They go to scheduled events and meetings and meeting up with their people, and there's so many things they do in a day that I would never want to be one. Like, you can talk about all the other stuff and people say corruption, all I can tell you is from what I see is they don't even get a day off. They go 7 days a week, every morning to late at night, and it is like, yeah, they enjoy it. Yeah, they feed off of that. They love it, I think, for the most part. But they aren't sitting there getting it. They don't have time for the drama. They don't have anything. And they're always running around like crazy. So, like, when I talk to politicians about this, guess what they say to me? What are you even talking about? And then I have them look it up. And then they look at it and they're like, oh, huh, that's not good. You know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's a lot of foreigners talking about it. Vitali, yeah, he triggered quite a few, but not everybody. Trust me, most Filipinos still wouldn't even know who he is. And they love Facebook, but it's because they're not talking about it as much as we're all talking about it. If you know anyone looking for a house for sale in Cebu province, about 2 hours from Cebu City, in I can't even say it. Dalagete. Okay, I did say it. Let me know. Nice home for about 3.5 million. 2 hours from Cebu City, 3.5 million. I don't have a lot of experience in Cebu City. I did like 16 days once, but that was a couple years ago. 3 years ago. Oh, geez. Yeah, so I really do have to get down there and I already have a plan actually, because now there's a new ferry that'll take, you can go pretty quick there, sort of. It goes from like San Carlos, something like that. I think from San Carlos right to the province of Cebu now, straight across. So you just go straight across one way, drive over to San Carlos from Bacolod, and then drive over. And actually, I don't even think I have to go to Bacolod. I can go from Ahui to some small town further up, and then just quickly go around. So I'm thinking of doing a really cool road trip on that. We'll see. Try to slow it down right now, just kind of dealing with stuff with the beaver and trying to get it to break even. Desperately want it to break even. I'm sick of putting money in, you know. I'm at a point now I shouldn't have to. We've just renovated everything. We're doing the last bit of renovations right now. And when the guys finish this here, they're putting the roof, extending it out to the road there. And that should be in the next couple of days. And then these guys are going to go do work for a foreigner friend of mine. And then hopefully other foreigners here in town will use them too, because they're really good hard workers. So, yeah. Mine is more into the American comedy movies versus the action violence movies. Oh yeah, well we watching them too. But yes, I get it. I wonder if it's because Kat and my fiance were both from the province. They're not exposed to them. Yeah, that and you know, here there is a big like GMA and what's the other channel? Oh my God, ABS, CBN or whatever. There is a lot of Filipino movies that are made for the Philippines. And so they would be, like you go to the movie theaters here in the Philippines, they'll have a couple of the blockbusters, but they'll have 3 to 5 Korean or Filipino movies in the theater going on. And so their culture is a mix. And so where ours is like almost 100%, you know, the blockbuster stuff, right? So for them, it's even if they were in the city, they may have only seen half as many as a Western girl, for example. Lots still vlogging from there. Yeah, there is. There's a lot less, though. I know a lot of people that have left the Philippines. So, and I even saw like TikTok. These vlogger guys, they're pretty big, like millions of subscribers on TikTok anyway. And they were saying that that a lot of vloggers are now going to skip the Philippines. They will just go to Thailand and Vietnam, Cambodia. They'll do all that. They'll go to Japan. They're going to go to China, all that stuff. But that because of all this stuff being reported, that they're just going to skip it because they just don't want the trouble. And so the Philippines will just be like one of those like places. And then I believe the indicators were saying that Laos is now ahead of the Philippines in a number of tourists. I don't know if that's true though, because Laos is small. And are they counting Chinese as tourists? Because they're literally on the border of China. So I'm not sure. Is popcorn served at the walk-in theater? Yeah. We do have a popcorn machine at the Beaver. And we do, like when we have a lot of people that are just in drinking, but they're not eating, I just tell them to go ahead and make them popcorn. We don't charge for it or anything. So it's pretty, we don't make it that often, but just once in a while. Keep them thirsty, right? Anyway, we didn't make it for this. We were planning to make it, but yeah. Read the law and understand the law. Exactly. But the reason I think people are saying is the circulars coming out have a lot more information that's not in the law. And that's what a lot of commissions do. Privacy Commission in Canada does the same thing. They will take that law and then the commission starts making decisions and stuff like that. The difference is the commission isn't the one, isn't the body of court, far as I understand. It still has to go to an actual court. Where in Canada, they don't need, they have their own separate enforcement unit and all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah. How much is 3.5 million pesos? Well, about $2 million or $20,000 per million on average. It's not really that. It's even better than that. So I would say that's probably around 63,000 without Googling it. Okay, so I want to let people talk about other things too, though. I don't want to just stick around there. Oh, you guys all jumped in on the price, right? France is still not completely... Oh, fence. No, fence is good. They're just fixing the... We had like a strong wind, and I noticed, like just for one day, and I noticed like, oh, because we can't tie anything to that wall behind it, right? Because that wall doesn't belong to us, which is why we couldn't paint it white. And because they didn't, we asked for approval, never heard back. And we were like, okay, well, we're just gonna have to build our own screen. Anyway, but you can't tie anything into that wall. If we could, then we'd reinforce it. So anyway, so we noticed how much it moves with that wind, and I was like, oh, that's just going to get torn apart. And, you know, it's cheap to fix, don't get me wrong. It wouldn't be the end of the world. But I don't want stuff flying all over the place, too. We don't want giant pieces of plywood flying and breaking through windows. And so they're reinforcing it in different ways, like lean-to and all that kind of stuff, so that, yeah, the wind might bend or break it, snap it a bit, but there'll be enough tie-in points that it's not going to go anywhere and might fall straight down at worst. So anyway, that's all they're doing right now. Yeah, my house is, I like it. I love my house now, man. I'm not complaining at all. I love my place. John. Hello, John. Thanks for being a member. Hi, Mike from Mississauga. Hot as the devil's butt here today. I love the place. Outdoor theater is a great idea. I think it's great. Like we just love it. And that's what's life about, right? You know, so many people can complain about things, but at the end of it, yeah, I would just, I don't even think they would have been mad. But in the rest, like they are going to be doing that. They're taking it all out, all that steel. They are putting, the architect did explain, they're putting an architectural block, like I think it's plastic or poly resin or some kind of resin. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, they're putting that there. Nobody does barbed wire anymore anyway. Like new construction stuff does not do that, by the way. Like it's a throwback to when Philippines was dangerous. Now it's like one of the craziest, like you guys don't understand until you come here and then you're like, oh yeah, it's not dangerous at all. Like at all. So anyway, so they're getting rid of all that, and they are going to repaint it all eventually and stuff like that. And they'll have to come on our property to do. But the fact that I kind of knew you couldn't touch it, they did come when we were doing our fence here. They came and they told our construction guys not to tie it to their wall. So we're not allowed to connect to the two walls here. So we have to put our own post down and cement. Yes, they're against the wall, but it's got its own structure to it. It's not bolted or attached or even cemented to their wall. So they cared enough to make sure that we didn't put anything against their wall. So I knew I had to ask. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Adopting that girl, paying for her to eat while they go through the process, because we're not here right now. Hello. Well, I know you are great to Laura and Kat, and you're both perfect for each other. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I tried to grow the big beef eaters and everything, and they did not take. They didn't grow. I checked with them. Yes, they got rid of the suckers. Yes, they bent them over. Yes, they tickled the little flowers and all that because we can't get bees in there. It's a greenhouse, but yeah, unfortunately, no. Jamie, cheers from Burlington, living vicariously through you. Listen, I lived in Burlington for a little while. Get out here. No excuses. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the thing about the beach is, there's a season, right? There's a season where there's going to be more rain, and when there's a season, there won't rain. So, so many ups and downs of the first 2 years of business. You will thrive. Yeah. At the end of the day, I know. I just gotta. I'd say just stick it out, but the truth of the matter is, you're still always reinventing, coming up with specials and promotions, and you gotta keep doing that. You can't just go, okay, we'll just wait. But yeah, there is one way you can fail, and that is to quit. Sometimes it's still the best of two situations. Like sometimes you have to say, okay, I've tried it all, nothing's changing. You know. But I just needed to get closer to break even. If I'm making even, I don't care. I don't need to make any money off of it, right? Like, let's just get it to not lose money. Are you going to get married? I'm still married to my ex, so the divorce thing would have to happen first. I have not been rushing to get it done. I'm one side of the whole coin anyway. As well, I can't start it because I've been out of Canada now, 5-6 years. My driver's license from Canada is now long expired. It expired like a year after I got my Philippines license. I don't have that place to get a new one anyway over in Canada. So anyway, so to do it online, one of the two people have to show that they are still got either a not expired driver's license, a utility bill in their name, something like that. So my ex could do that. She could pull it off because of her mother in Canada. Mother could change a utility bill to her name or whatever, and then we could apply for a divorce online. So she's going to have to trigger that. So I don't know. Again, I'm not in a giant rush. I'm going to be very clear. Just not. It's been 1 year. I'm okay. I'm okay. No rush. Hi from Charleston, South Carolina. Would April work well for a first-time visit to Rojas? Yeah, April's still good. April's great. March, anywhere December, January, February, March, April, even May is all considered good months for the Philippines as a whole. It's the high season. So definitely. April's fantastic, actually. It's also Holy Weeks involved in that month. So yes, incredibly busy. You will see a lot of fiestas and parties and parades, and there'll be just people out and in general. It's a big deal. Hello from Marysville, Michigan. Hello, Alan. So you're far behind with the chat. 19-year-old, 20-year-olds are also trying to get money from people like me. Yeah, I am really far behind on chat. Sorry about that. Hello from Howell, Michigan. Hello, Robert. Hey, partner. During the NHL season, do you have the game at your bar? So I did. It did. Canucks need to see you in January. So I had this service I paid for. I got 28,000 channels, did all that stuff. But my ISP provider quietly made sure that it wouldn't work anymore. Throttled the hell out of it so that it would just do this. And I contacted them and I'm like, it's not working. This is what happens. And I show them like, oh, well, you need a new Amazon Fire Stick. Oh, I get a new Amazon Fire Stick. I tried everything under the moon. And then even when it came to renewal this year, I'm like, I don't get it. It just doesn't work. And they're like, I talked to my friends in Iloilo, everybody, it works for them, no problem. And so he's like, go somewhere where it's a different provider and try it on your phone there. And I did, and sure enough, it works perfectly. So, yeah, my ISP provider decided to make sure I couldn't buy it, or we could not watch it. Yeah. I think they came into the Beaver, they saw it a few times. They're like, oh, you should buy our packages of this or that. And I'm like, I can't get the sports that I want there. I can get basketball in the Philippines, that kind of thing, and certain things you do offer, but I can't get the 28,000 channels or whatever. And I think they went, okay, well, let's see if you can stay that way. Anyway, that's how it worked. And so even to this day, it's still locked out. And yeah. I've never traveled outside the country, but I'm gonna try to get my ducks in line to come down, probably in January. Just know how much I need to have to live on a month down there. Yeah, it depends what you're gonna do, though. Let's be honest. It's just, you know, you got people like our friend Richard. He just put out a video. He's staying in Rojas, Palawan now. He went out there he met a girl there the first time he went, and then he came back, and then he went back. And I just saw you put out a video there that he managed to survive. The key word is the word survive. For $53 for a month because he had a financial situation. And so, to give you an idea, like, it is possible. It ain't comfortable. It's probably not what you imagine. But I don't know how he did it. I didn't have time to watch the entire video. But, you know, yeah, like, I don't recommend that. But to say that the problem is like if you live here, it's cheap, right? You can live here very cheap if you have a set rent. Like, for example, my rent's $20,000 a month, okay? So 20,000 pesos a month is what, 330 bucks. You can buy a big bag of rice. You could buy a whole bunch of pork and some chicken and you have some vegetables, and you could just put it all in your little rental house fridge, and you can get, now I'm 20,000 a month. There's guys with 10. Okay, let's be clear. You could go much cheaper than that. Anyway, and you could just chill and relax and enjoy your thing. And if you're not a drinker, you know, not drink alcohol, that kind of thing, just think about it. Obviously, you could live pretty cheap. There's absolutely no reason. But if you're visiting a place and you're just on vacation, well, none of that's available to you. Nobody's going to be renting you, say, you know, like I know people pay $10,000 a month for an apartment. If you were coming here for a month, that would be what, 300 pesos a day, something like 333 pesos a day in rent. You're never going to get that. You're going to be paying, you know, low as 800 pesos a day to 3,000 pesos a day to stay overnight in places, because you're not living here, you're just renting. So immediately your living cost is going to be 10 times higher, and you're probably not going to have a kitchen that you're going to cook and, you know, that maybe if you rent an Airbnb or something, you know. I'm not saying things aren't impossible, but I'm just saying it's unlikely. When you're visiting and you're on vacation, it's just a completely different thing. And depends where you're going, right? If you're going to El Nido, it's going to be pricey. If you're going to Antique, it's going to be very affordable. So, yeah, it's a difficult answer. Really difficult. Oh, you know, honestly, like I realized afterwards, Matthew, that's where the money is. Even a small resort with 7 or 8 rooms will make far more money, and it's so easily profitable. It's a cultural thing here in the Philippines, even with Filipinos, to like, you may not have a great home, right? But you all pool together and you rent out places. It's in the culture. It's a thing. And so that's why, like right now, I can hear a little bit of music. So there's 2 rental houses here on the beach. They charge 10,000 pesos a night, and they're always booked. That's why there's always people on the beach in front of my house. Not because there's anybody over here, it's because of those 2 rental houses, and they're always booked. You go over there and look in, there is practically no furniture in it, because it would get destroyed. So they just barely furnish it, just some benches, you know, real basic stuff. And yeah, families all get together. They put 25 people in that thing, and you know, nobody trashes it or anything. But they, you know, you will have to go up and pick up all the trash afterwards and everything. But they don't put a lot of effort into it. The walls are fading. You know, every once a year they'll repaint it. But they really don't have to put a lot into it, and yet they make a fortune back. So yes, there are a couple nights a week that they're booked, but they're making 50,000 a week. They don't care. They don't care. And that's what makes it really difficult for people who are looking for a long-term rental, is you have to compete with that industry. The fact that they can get 10,000 pesos a night to rent it out, because they're right on the beach and families will rent them. And maybe there's 4 of them. There's 2 here, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple more further down. And they do very well. And then comes rainy season, they won't make anything. Keep that in mind though. And then all of a sudden they want to rent it out. But I'd be careful if you do that, because then where are they going to throw you out just in time for the business season? There's no Landlord-Tenant Act here, right? There's no board that's going to protect you. Good morning from Sweden. Good morning. And thank you very much, by the way, Brian. 226 people watching at that time, and this is a while ago, I'm sure. And only that many likes. That's not good. Oh, there's over 300 now. What? Yeah, no excuse. No excuse. Come on, hit the like button for me. Okay, sorry if I'm really behind. I'm going to try to do what I can. That's the same with my current life, with my work. So I'm so busy during the day dealing with work orders, working with the public, that when I make it to the Philippines, that's my downtime with my fiance and our fam. That's fantastic. We're hoping the anniversary was going to be your best day. Yeah, I'm really sad, trust me. You know, now nothing gets out. Like, put it this way, somebody goes, yeah, can I get another beer? They have to now go write it down, give it to the cashier. This is the way it should have been always. Again, I will admit I make mistakes, and I should have implemented this long ago, or at least made sure it got implemented, I should say. And then the cashier has to write up, add it to the order, whatever it is. It does not go, nobody goes into the fridge and gets it. The bartender, who is the cashier, and maybe if it's busy, you have 2 to 3 behind there. They're the only ones, and they can only put it out when it's been added to the bill. And they go, table 6, come get your beer. And if there's food on the slip, they write it, then they put the order to the kitchen. No one goes and gets anything. No one can order anything. Only the people behind the bar. And we could have controlled this a lot better. And it even, like, imagine watching the video, and it's just so complicated because we had like 14, 15 people because of all these students, 16 people working. And I'm watching, and it's like, this one's going to grab this one, and I'm trying to make track, like maybe they eventually went over to cash and told them, and it just happened too many times. So sad. From the stuff I've been seeing, Filipino ladies, yes, they do get jealous. You will always be reassuring them, you'll always, and people, I don't know. I can only speak for myself, because I know other people are saying, no, it gets better, Michael, it gets better. Does it? Or do you adapt so that it causes less headaches? Do you stop, like before I'll be driving out, I'm just looking to see how busy all the restaurants are. And she just assumes I'm looking for girls. How ridiculous is that, right? Like, I can't even look to the side, I'm just driving by this place, see if it's busy. And it's like, oh, yeah, where you were looking? And I'm like, what? And did I just change everything around? Like, did I just like keep my head down and I just like do the blinders thing? I don't know. I probably definitely modified everything in my life, update every little thing I do, so that there's, try to always be everywhere that she's within eyesight. I don't know. I hope not. Because I was like, hell no. I'm not going to be somebody else. But anyway, it's a crazy world. Crazy world with this jealousy thing. It's just absolutely mind-boggling to me. But it doesn't go away. But changes, I guess. Just becomes less of a thing, I guess. Please speed up reading the comments. Hey, listen, Rain. $5 super chat. You get all my time. No, I'm kidding. But thank you. I know. I got to go faster. Let's go. Quick answers. What's the best way to get from the U.S., Midwest to the Philippines? Depends where you're going in the Philippines. They're all going to be flying out of L.A., though, probably, right? L.A. or Seattle, that kind of thing. Because we have to get to there first, I'm pretty sure, because the flight is long. Manila is a terrible airport. But if you want to come to Rojas City, you have to go there. There are people now that are saying the absolute fastest way to get into the Philippines, to not deal with Manila, to not deal with all the long lines and immigration and hours of being at the airport, that kind of thing, it's just to go to fly into, make your stop over either Singapore, Hong Kong, and one other, I don't remember, and end up in Iloilo City, because Iloilo has international flights that come from those cities. And he's like, Michael, I'm telling you, from the time we land, 10 minutes. 10 minutes to get into the Philippines. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. And it's true, because they don't normally, they only get a few flights a week coming in from international. And so the immigration guys are just like, they're really quick at it. There's not huge lines. There's just your plane, essentially, at that time going through immigration. And they just zoom through. And a lot of them are Filipinos, so they're even faster. And yeah, he's like 10 minutes to come into the country. So it's turning out right now, Iloilo might be the best. And then you just have a 2-hour taxi to get here. So instead of going into Manila, going through this huge immigration process and everything, then get on a connecting flight and flying from Manila to Rojas City, it might be the one. Show us the famous vegetable garden. Yeah, it's 3 days ago, Jammer. I think the video, something around 3 days ago, we gave an update in it. See, that's the thing about my videos. They're often like, I just try to keep things moving. I don't want a big, long, dragged out video. So I'll put a few different things into the same video so that it's interesting to most people. Not all of them are fully like what I consider the most interesting. I get it, but yeah, parts of it is. Hi, Mike. Greetings in Seymour, Missouri. Really enjoy your vlogs. Is your fiance's name begin with a C or a K? Yeah, so her name is Catherine, not a fiance. I'm still married, but girlfriend. Well, let's say that. I'm separated. Catherine with a C, and hoping to come to the Philippines 26 or 2027. All right, fantastic. Panama is awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to visiting my mother. It's been a long time. Walk on water. Are you a veteran? No, I'm Canadian. Oh, I guess I could have served in Iraq though, right? Oh no, that's Afghanistan. No, I'm Canadian, so no, I never served. I was in the Canadian Army Reserves, but long before wars. I was in the Lawrence Scots, if you know Canada very well. But I was in the reserves before anything, and then I was injured in my left knee. And I still get the aches to this day or whatever, but I don't claim any money or get anything from that. I just said, okay. They told me that I had to move to supply, and because I couldn't be in a foxhole because of my knee, will never repair this, will never come back the same. And so I couldn't bend my knee for very long. And I was like, that's my options. And so, yeah, they gave me an honorable discharge, and I was only in my early 20s. I was in it for a very short period, and I was injured in training. So anyway, I did not want to hand out uniforms for the rest of my life. That didn't sound exciting to somebody who was in the reserves, and that I was trying to get full-time in the reserves. Because, fun fact here, even though I was in corporate America and did some really cool things in my life, I never finished high school. And so I couldn't join the regular forces in Canada as much as I tried. I was in Army cadets and all that stuff, and I rose to the highest of that. And then when I was like 18, I wanted to join, and they were like, nope, where's your high school degree? I never had a high school degree. I always just went out and worked and made my own way. So I could join the reserves, though. So, man, that's another story I could talk about. I almost joined the U.S. Marines, and yeah, U.S. Customs got in the way of that. I know, though you're working with business and the public may be chaos, I thrive and enjoy it. We're looking forward to coming to the Rojas in the near future. We can catch up and visit. Fantastic. All right, let's, yes, definitely. How do you sit at the bar and drink and eat fried chicken daily? Because that would get boring. My kidneys, Mr. Serioso, thank you, being a member. My kidneys aren't letting me drink alcohol right now. So I had that one beer at the anniversary. This was the last time. And it was like 2 months before that. So I'm just trying to get them back. I know kidneys don't really come back, but I'm hoping, because I'm drinking a lot of lemon right now and everything, and I do have my medication, that it's more to do with kidney stones, not so much failure in the kidneys, because kidneys don't repair. So, but we won't know for a while. I got to keep drinking this lemon stuff and be good and get the test done again. So yeah, and you got to eat different things, otherwise you just go crazy. Like, we just put out a whole new menu, so I've been eating shish kebabs a lot. I love them, absolutely love them, and lumpia, because we make fresh, like, ground beef lumpia. It's so delicious. But then again, Catherine's cooking is pretty good. So, like, she makes these soups with lots of vegetables and big hunks of meat in it. Oh, just beautiful. And then I bring in from Iloilo, there's a guy that makes Texas smoked brisket. Like, oh, so good. And he smokes it for a very long time. It's so delish, absolutely delish. Anyway, he sends it to me. He vacuum packs it into 1 kilo packs, and I get 5 kilos every time. Yes, it's expensive. And he sends it by the Sarah's bus here with all the sauces, everything, in these coolers, like these coolers and everything he delivers it with. And it lasts me over a month. So we put it in the freezer and the fridge, the vacuum packed ones. And then when I'm ready, I can take out that kilo, wrap it all in tin foil, and then I put it in the oven on slow, right? Just nice and low, slow, low and slow. And it's just magic, melt in your mouth. But even that, you can't eat it all the time, or it just kind of loses its wonderfulness. Found 90% of the time showing respect when there was doubt on filming for the trip and asking, oh yeah, like, but rarely told you can't film. Yeah, so people, like, I know somebody pointed out, well, this other channel, oh, he's so good because he always asks if he can film. It doesn't mean nobody else asks. It's, do you fill your time with, are you guys okay with being on camera and leaving that part in? I edit my videos, so you're not always going to see that. Does that mean like 100% of every time if I'm like at a busy concert or something, am I going around individually asking every single person in the past? No. But you'll notice that I have changed my style of filming. I 100% have. The days of doing whatever, just not thinking about it, just going and filming a parade or a festival or whatever, I think those are done. Like, unless there is the correction made, or not correction, update, something like that they were saying. I don't think it's worth it anymore. Like, let's be honest. I love the parades. I love the fiestas, the parties, the culture, the Philippines culture. But I'm not going to risk massive fines and everything for videos that are generally not the most popular. So I don't get the most traffic on them. And it sucks because I actually love I love the culture of the Philippines, therefore I love to ingrain myself in it. But effectively, the only part that they made illegal was showing the culture of the Philippines, the friendliness, the happiness, and everything. And so you can't film that stuff anymore, technically, if I go only on the circular and that whole thing. And until there's a correction or whatever, it's like the highest risk thing you could do now is film a parade. How crazy is that, right? I don't think that's the intent. I'm hoping it's going to get fixed. But you're better off to show rentals, empty streets, empty beaches, film from your backyard, show off a resort when it's empty, show off, like, and it's not so much you have to be empty. The whole thing, it's very clear in it about being identifiably clear of somebody's identity, right? So if it's if the person's not in focus like this, this is identifiable like this, right? So but like, for example, not that I don't have their permission, they know everything and they're cool. But the fact they're way back there sitting on that is not identifiable, right? So that isn't a problem. So if you're doing that kind of filming, that's fine. That's not considered the thing. If you could go in and put that in facial recognition software, would get all the points of my eyes and all that stuff, that's what if you read the actual law, that's what it was about. And actually, the crazy part about the law, it was a security company who posted a body cam footage looking for a suspect, but did not blur the other suspects. And the other suspects, people assumed they were part of the crime, and caused this whole thing and caused a court case and all that stuff. So it was interesting, but nothing to do with what we're talking about. Is Catherine hand injury from the hotel okay now? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, from that sliding door. Yeah. I don't even remember anymore. Yes, she's definitely okay. You put the laugh thing on the end, but I literally, it was so dumb. Oh, I remember. Yeah, they brought up the nurse and everything. It was really dumb though, but it was one of those doors that slide, but it's quite fast because it's smooth, and the thing that clasp that it hooks on is a little bit sharp. And so when her hand got caught in there, I can't remember, it cut this way or this way. I don't remember. Anyway, it got on there, and then I just smashed her up. I was shocked that she needed all that, but she got all that. Every time I hear the name of a bar. Nice. Morning, Mike. How's the family? Cat's hand is better. Yes, Cat's hand is definitely better. Vietnam is the place. Yeah, I liked it, but I still like the culture here in the English. And oh my gosh, I love the Philippines. Hello, my Jennifer. Hello. When you watch videos from where you are, you just see how much of a better, simple life you can have. Western life seems so hard and complicated here. Yeah, honestly. Yeah. All right. Selling a lot in San Antonio subdivision just across from People's Park. Fantastic. Good morning, Michael. Hey, Ralph. How are you, brother? Hope you're doing good, brother. I've been watching a lot of vloggers in the Philippines, and they are vlogging the same as usual, showing people. Yeah, I'm really not the target of anybody because there are people that are still like, the people that are really playing with fire are the ones that, like you get a bunch of girls walking home from high school, clearly like 14, 15 years old, and going right up to their faces, telling them how pretty they are, asking them if they're single. Like, what the fuck? And so when people say, like, you got to be careful, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Somehow this is being allowed. Nobody's going to dealing with this guy. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Sorry for my French. I don't swear very much, but I am like, come on, I am not the problem here. And nothing will be done. I assure you, nothing. It's sad. But anyway, it's just the way it is. Robert, that sounds like a neat blog. Keep up the great work. Restaurant business are some of the harder business because of the tight margins. It's true. That's why I'm like, damn, I should have started a resort, something like that. That's where the money is. Cebu blog, yeah, that'll be great. What's the story of Lara's brother? Isn't he in the picture? No, so he was never in the picture. Long before, like as soon as she told him, she was pregnant. They were both very young, I guess, very young. Old Catherine and Lara. So she was 22 or whatever, and so was he or something. It was just somebody in college. I think it was college. Yeah. Anyway, that they decided that. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be a dad or whatever. Like, no, hell no. And so she's like, fine, I don't need you. And that was it. He's not in the birth certificate. She's never heard from him again. It doesn't matter anyway. So here in the Philippines, if the father's not on the birth certificate and all that, you can get a document that says you are the sole parent. And so Catherine actually has the document. So he can never, ever, ever have claim because she has the government document that says she is the sole parent of the daughter. Hi, Michael. Do you have any idea how wide your beachfront is? It's a good question. Yeah, one sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 9 times 1. We're approximately 28 feet. Yeah, about 28 feet wide. And super chat, look at that. Thank you very much. The art of basketball. Do you ever get worried about healthcare in the Philippines long term? I know people are going to Thailand and pay out of pocket. Okay, so there is things that people love to go to Thailand for. They're good for like cheaper dental than it is in the Philippines. And if you need like something that is very, not so much elective, but like not required or whatever, but I would love to know what you could get done in Thailand that you couldn't get at St. Luke's, for example, in BGC. What is it? Like I can't think of anything like it between all the top hospitals that are in the Philippines that are available to you, by the way, and that you could get it done immediately. There's no because it's longer wait or anything like that. Like I can go why I know why you might go to Thailand because you don't want to go to a provincial hospital. That makes sense. But why would you go all the way to Thailand when you could just go to Manila and go to one of those? Or there are monster big new mega hospitals that were built in the last couple of years in like Iloilo City and Cebu and all these different places, Davao, and so that's the only thing. It's like overall, Thailand is a more modern place, smaller population, a country all on land, in a more centralized place. Of course, it's going to develop overall much bigger and much better, but than a country with 7,000 islands, all separated from everything, and nothing's connected to any other mainland, and where they're all connected to China and everything else, like India and Russia. Everything is all connected there. Europe, everything can come by truck. So everything's going to be different on that. So that's the only thing. Like I know where to get good health care here. Thank you for the super chat. It's not going to be available at every little place, though, and that's improving. Time is improving a lot of things. The brand newest provincial hospitals would put a local small town hospital in Canada to shame. There's a lot of reasons why Canada. That's easier in me saying Canada because, let's be honest, some people you can go in there for 13 hours bleeding out of every orifice, and they still haven't even seen you for triage yet in some emergency places at hospitals in Canada. So there's a whole other reason for that. But Thailand is going to be different in that way. Sure, you want many more things are available to a country that's on land. I've shown it a few times in my video where I'm taking a ferry and you see the trucks all lining up, and I'm like, that truck is going to have to go through 5 ferries just to get to there, and it's 60,000 pesos for the trucks for that ferry, or 55,000 pesos, something like that. So it's like $1,000. So that truck's going to cost $4,000. Never mind, just for the ferries. Never mind the truck itself, the gas, the transportation, and then that stuff had to come by ship to get here. And so people are like, oh, it's so much cheaper in Thailand. Yeah, I can do the math. It's right there. So that's why so many things in the Philippines are made in the Philippines. A lot of stuff is local here, right? Like if you go to the store, chances are the meat is from here. Like when I say here, probably not from very far from here either. The vegetables are from here, not very far from here. The fish is from here. A lot of the made goods here will be coming from Manila or somewhere relatively close as possible to deal with those enormous costs. What do you miss most about not living in Canada? I like camping, so I'm kind of permanently camping now, but I loved going camping in like June, July, August, that kind of thing. That was my big thing for Canada. I really loved it. And I just hate winter so much that it blocks everything out. Now, keep in mind, my job was 26 days, approximately, sometimes 24, but 26 days of the month in the United States. I spent most of my job traveling. I was in corporate sales, like corporate sales management of things. And so I was at a lot of sales centers, a lot of customers, a lot of places, that kind of thing, factories, that kind of stuff. So I didn't live a very like relaxed life or anything. So that could have been a good reason why. You can't find that Philippines life in Messenger? Should be able to find it. But either way, I have a staff that handle that, Jennifer. But yeah, I'm not like selling land or anything. Like if you have a great price, a great deal for a house, like most of my audience is expats. So some OFWs that have dual, and that does happen. So I don't really like to, unless it's something that I'm interested in or works for me, and I'm not looking to live in the subdivision. But if you have a house that are that, but what I found is people want me to go and show something, and they're like, yeah, and I want 30,000 per square meter, and I'm like, well, I'm not filming this. Like, if it's a sweetheart deal, like if you are really like, I'm desperate, I need to sell it today, sort of thing, or the next 5 days, and you have a price that could do that, my videos can help you. My videos, by showing it, I have enough people in here, especially the ones that live locally or like upper middle class, that kind of thing, that would snap up that deal. But like, if you're horribly overpriced, or even just overpriced, you're just overpriced, I can't really help you. Like, all you're going to do is get a lot of hate in the comments, and it's not going to go anywhere. And you know, so yeah. And so if you're really desperate and you really have a desperate looking price, I could probably help you. But other than that, my channel's not really going to help you. A Filipino vlogger from the local community, where you just want to get more press out about it. But a lot of people are pricing it for they're not in a rush to sell. And there's a lot of lots for sale, and everybody's kind of just sitting around there trying to ask for a lot of money. I was running for the USA Sport Trap for Olympics. Hey, is there any sport shooting there? Yes, there is. It doesn't matter if you're an expat or not. So once you have a permanent residency here, so your SRV, that kind of thing, you can take the course and everything, and you can get a gun license. I know. People will say, no, that's not true, only Filipino. No, it's not true. It is. So yeah, if you have a permanent residency, just check the law yourself. Don't believe all the stuff. Even gun stores will be like, nope, you're not allowed. And you have to literally show them the law, and they're like, and they still may not sell to you. You'll have to go to another one. But there are plenty. My friend Peter Monk here, he has a great restaurant, by the way, called Monk's, M-U-N-K-S. And am I saying it right, or is it M-O? Oh, it's M-U, I think. Anyway, in Santa Barbara, right by the airport in Iloilo. And he is part of Mikey's gun club there. And it's a massive, has indoor, outdoor, has everything, right? Anyway, he does IPSC shooting. And there's tons of all different kinds, by the way. You can do trap shooting, you can do whatever. And yeah, he is fantastic at it. Like, he travels from here to Korea to all these places. He's on his SRRV too, and he's highly competitive. And if you're going to be in the Iloilo area and want some introductions to that world, go to Monk's, all right, with the restaurant. It's right by Jollibee and everything in Santa Barbara. You can't miss it. And go and see him. He's an awesome guy. His food is fantastic. So good. And anyway, and he can introduce you, and like, he's friends with everybody too, so he knows everybody, and you'll have a great time. Do you guys have hurricanes? Well, typhoons here, and there's been two major ones here in this area in the last 30 plus years. Last one was 2019. And that's the one that destroyed like Cebu and a lot of areas, right? Like Bohol, everything just trashed. And it did a lot of damage here, like bad, really bad. So you just have to look on a map where Rojas City is, though. We face the middle of the country. We're not facing out to the oceans. And so the typhoons typically run up the sides, right? And then you see sometimes they hit up the northern Luzon and do a lot of damage up there. But often they keep going up, and they go to Taiwan, and they go to Japan, and sometimes they're the other side where they go up to Vietnam and all that stuff, and where they come from that area and then smash down. But being in the middle means that it had to, like what happened to the one in 2019, where it smashed through and went through Cebu and Bohol and all that, and did all the damage, and then got into this middle area, and then came at this side. So it has to come like in to get here. So it's less than the people who live, like if you're going to pick Samar and these other places all along the outside facing out to the ocean, you're more likely to get them there. I knock on wood, like, you know, I don't want to have one all of a sudden. But I would think heirloom tomatoes would grow better than genetic hybrids. Yeah, local tomatoes. They grow very well here, no problem, but they're going to be small. But when you're bringing in those big ones from the west or whatever, those are made for climates of Western climates. That's how it's been explained to me anyway. Hi from Toronto. Hello, Rain Bitcoins. I'll be in the Philippines August 25th and spending 6 months. I'll find my Filipina. I'll be staying forever. I am 45, work online, so location not an issue for me. Oh, that's fantastic. And they do have that new online visa, which is so much better than any other visa here. You don't have to go every 2 months. You don't have to go every 6 months, whatever. That is once a year, you renew it, and digital nomad visa, and you're laughing. You got it all. Hello from David and Irene in Rio Grande. Nice outdoor theater. But are you even Filipino if it doesn't include a karaoke? True. True. Listen, my Filipina doesn't sing karaoke, so go figure, eh? If you need me to bring anything from Canada, I'm happy to help. Thank you very much. I can't think of anything at the moment, but no, that would be not good for my current relationship. No, she doesn't even like the mention of it. So, but there's no reason. Like, we have no reason, like no negative. But we've both moved on, so she has her boyfriend. I'm sure he wouldn't like it either, and my girlfriend definitely wouldn't like it. But there is no reason that if we had to have a conversation, there would be any problem. No, we aren't in bad terms, if that means anything. It's just we just kind of like, she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing, and we don't have any conversations anymore. But if I needed to, if I desperately wanted to get a marriage and then I need to get a divorce done or whatever, I could reach out to her and we could start the conversation. But no, there's no bad blood, put it that way. I think the blogs give Americans and retirees a lot of hope. It's almost impossible to live in the United States anymore. We may take over the Philippines. I don't think so. There's 110 million that still having kids like crazy, and Americans are not having kids. So, yeah, I think it's more like the other way. But yeah. No, I know. It is beautiful here. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I love it here. And you know what? People love you here. That's why I think a lot of people choose the Philippines. Catherine was saying something yesterday, and I was like, you don't realize, like, most other countries, people don't like foreigners. Like, you're not loved. That's for sure. She was like, what? Oh, yeah. It was during Godfather, and they were saying these words, to call Italians and stuff like that, and she's like, it's like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's not like it is here. Like, people aren't going, oh my God, thank you for coming to my country, welcome to my country, it's so great to have you, oh my God, can I get a picture with you? That's not normal. And I had to explain to her, like, that doesn't happen. So anyway, yeah, she got a little bit of a shocker there. Philippines is special. Are there nice rentals in Rojas? Yes, there are still some left, and I keep getting surprised by the ones that show up. So yes, there is one that's still, I don't know. I know Jose was just asking me about it and stuff, but we'll see. But they originally wanted 70,000 because they were getting good money per night, sorry. Because it has a beautiful swimming pool. It's 3 floors. It's all modern. It's got modern furniture, mesh net internet. It's just a gorgeous place. A party room on the top floor with a big monster. I don't remember if it was 70-inch TV or 50-inch, but I think it was 70. And so the party room with a bar up there, and then you open up the sliding doors, and there's a big outdoor patio overlooking. You can see out into the ocean and everything there. And you've got all these, loungers out on this pad. Like, we're talking gorgeous place. 2 minutes for a walk to the beach, sort of thing. And they wanted 70,000 a month. And but like, nobody was seriously gonna. Nobody was grabbing it. Let's just say that. So they came back to me and said, what would it take? And I said, 40,000. 40,000 a month, that's a reasonable, you've got a great house there, everything's wonderful, because whoever rents it has got to pay the electricity and got to clean the pool. Because you have a pool and everything, there's more costs, right? There's going to be pool chemicals, there's going to be all that. So it's more likely their cost with their utilities and everything to be about 60,000 a month. And so they agreed. And so it is for rent for 40,000. It's going to cost you 60, to be quite honest. But yeah, so there are some super nice ones here. But there's definitely, like, the one I just recently sold was only 15,000 a month. They're very happy. Man, it was the coolest thing I've ever been in, like, cool temperature-wise. I was so shocked. And, he decorated nicely, so that one wasn't furnished. Tom lives next door, so they have it good there. But there are several really nice houses like that in the subdivisions here. There are some that have to be like me, like are in like Harry over here, where he renovated his own and he made it his own thing. But he's smart. He rented out to Airbnb and he's making back all the money he put into his own property. Yeah, yeah, it does exist. It's just, it's one of the things that are going to continue to grow because people will see, wait a minute, I have this house, instead of selling it, I'm just going to rent it because there was no market to rent it before, but now there is, and I don't really want to sell it because it'll be worth a lot more money in the future. So you're going to get things that are going to open up. Two-bedroom condo in Rojas City. So there's a two-story one. So it's beautiful. It's a pretty far back video, but they still have two of them left. And so you come in and you got your kitchen and your living room and everything, and then you go upstairs to your two bedrooms and I think it's got two bathrooms. Bathroom downstairs and a big ensuite bathroom that also has a door out to there. And then you also have a rooftop door. It takes you out to the rooftop where you have your, on the roof they have all the, where you can dry your clothes, the hanger dryer stuff. Like, it's got, yeah, I was in a model unit. I don't remember if it was, it comes with the washer dryer, but they just show you what's possible. Trying to remember how much money that was. So I want to say it was 6.8, 6 million or something. Because it's the thing about condos is the studios and one bedrooms are always cheap. You can find them cheap. But two bedrooms are extremely rare. And it is a beautiful one. Yeah, I just don't remember the exact price. So I hate putting a quote on it. But if you contact me afterwards, I can find you the link to that video. So you can take a look and see what that one looks like. But it's really nice. Now, October, so we're now in July, October, the pre-sales happen for the brand new 12-building condo monster project, cluster project they're calling it. It's going to be absolutely epic and beautiful, and it's going to be like not their first one, because they built the first ones already, but it's going to be considered it's going to be the most important project they do for the whole new township. And so they're going to make sure it's perfect. They're going to make sure it's great. And which is why I want to get in on that too. And just plus, if you get it pre like this, as soon as it opens, you'll have years to pay for it. So you can just put money in. And then I can also tell them I don't want to be in the first phase because I can't afford it. So, but if I could pay a little bit every single month and I keep doing that for a long period of time, I could handle it. Do you intend to buy a car? Yeah, I've been looking, but it has to be there's a lot of things that are involved with that. And I just got too many other payments that I'm making right now all over the place that I have to make sure I always have money for. Yeah, like I said, the ISP is blocking at everything. And the VPN stuff, they seem to figure that out after a day. So they notice the VPNs and then they block them. They don't block them. They just throttle the hell out of them. Starlink available to you? Yes, it is. Starlink is available all over the place, but I can't get my, the thing about being a YouTube vlogger is, thanks for being a member, by the way, is upload speed. And unfortunately, Starlink is capped out at 20 megabytes per second upload. And I need, what I get half a gigabyte upwards. Like my farm is 1 gigabyte upload speed. Like it's crazy, crazy, crazy speed. I don't even know where Lambunau is. Sorry, Roger. I'll have to look on a map. Yeah, Starlink is available everywhere. Yeah, perfect. But my amazing speeds are well above anything Starlink can give me. That's why I'm not spending. And Starlink's way more expensive. I pay 1,600 pesos a month for this crazy speed at the bar. So West Fertile all the way on that. Not going to complain. Yeah, and my house is that way, and my farm, and my office. Super fast speeds. I've looked into Starlink, but yeah. It's good for portability. It's good for places that you can't get fiber, but it can't compete with fiber. It's just too, it's much more expensive and slower. Yeah, exactly. Maybe when we're making money just for the TV. Yes, US in there, exactly. Okay, so I'm really behind here. I know, I'm really sorry, guys. I talk too much. Isn't that the point of a live? Yeah, here we go. I'm back to that message. That's how slow I am. Manila Airport is really not that bad. Non-stop LAX at Manila is the only way to go. Unless you're like wasting your time. Yeah. So the only thing is Mark and Jane, I've been to the Manila. If it's the connecting flight, they put you on this bus, take you forever, and then a lot of people miss their connecting flight because they take 3 hours from that point to get into the other one, and you still miss your flight. They leave you in this like transfer station area and all that stuff, or your immigration line is just too long that you miss your connecting flight. Like I'm sure other people can tell you the horror stories. So if it's working for you and it's worked for you, whatever your time you arrived, stick to that because clearly that's working. Because I've heard so many horror stories. I've been through a few, and I assumed it was bad luck, but other people are telling me that they had horror stories. And so when I heard that in 10 minutes he's in and out, if you're going to Iloilo, it kind of makes sense. yeah, that would be using facts though, Al, unedited, and that doesn't always play into logic. Doesn't really play into jealousy, for her anyway. Longest I've ever spent is 30 minutes. Oh, that's good to know. See, there you go. There you go. Yes, I always have that. Yes, there is. You have to do your. I don't remember the name of it now, but there is an app. You have to register. Hey, Ronald. Thank you very much, Ronald Jackson. Thank you. I think you are jealous of Kat too. No, she could go wherever she likes to go. To be very honest, Ronald. You know, I always had this thing where, like, I just believe in my brain that it's like, you know, if you aren't happy, then just go. Like, I don't need like this long process, dragged out process. And so, like, for me, like, if somebody wants to be with somebody else, go be with somebody else. Like, I really am not. No. Jealousy just has no part in me. And then they think I don't love them because I'm not jealous. And it's like, that's not how I translate love. I'm sorry. Try flying into Cebu. Yeah, a lot of people fly into Cebu also. But if you're going to Iloilo, that's the point, I think, for them. But yeah, I get it. Is it possible to get Filipino off the jealousy thing? I heard, like, from my friends, they're like, oh yeah, she doesn't even care now. I can go back to America for 3 months. She doesn't think anything of it. So I guess it's possible. Hey, they give you a high school. They give you a high school. Yeah, so I was actually, I didn't want to go through the whole long story, but anyway, I was racing horses in Canadian horses, a stake race in the United States, and it had nothing to do one time. I was just a groom, right? And I go into this in Batavia, New York, go into the mall, and U.S. Marines will go to sign me up. And they're like, no, you got grade 10? I said, I got grade 10. He's like, that's all we need. Go get your school transcript, bring me your birth certificate, and you're in. That was it. Marines were going to take me in. Grade 10's fine. So this was, like, again, a long time ago, before all the wars. So, and back in that whole, like, period where there was, like, nothing. And so, yeah, and then when I came back and I said, yeah, I'm just going back, I just went home for 3 days, 4 days, something like that. And I went back and I just said, yeah, I'm just going back. I'm racing in a Canadian horse stake race. Didn't think anything of it. Back then there was no passports across the border. And the guy said, no, an American can do that job. Boom, banned me from the United States for 6 months. Put me in a taxi that just drives you over the bridge, drops you at the other end. And that's it. Everything I owned, like other than a couple shirts I had with me or whatever, but everything I owned was still in the tack room where the race, you know, because I traveled with the horse. That was the point of the being in stake races. So everything I owned was stuck in Batavia, New York. I was banned from the United States for 6 months. So I had hitchhiking, and nowhere to go. And I had nothing. So anyway, just wasn't meant to be. Never ended up in the U.S. military because of it. There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. I know. I'm going to speed up here just to make sure. Yeah, DHL. So all shipping is expensive, but DHL is partnered with LBC in the Philippines. And so it's quick and easy. Yes, you can send FedEx, you can do all this. Takes a little longer, that's all. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It's very expensive to ship here in the Philippines. To do a whole buy in box, it's cheaper, but then you have to send a whole big box of stuff. But yeah, just sending one hat, yeah. So don't apologize. Totally okay. It's a brutal system here to get anything mailed in. Um, they have a lot of main hospitals in the Philippines. They have a high, more Blue Cross. They have multiple hospitals if you're in Manila. BGC, you don't need to worry about anything. Yeah, you can get pretty much anything done here. It's just, you can't compare it with a small little hospital in a small town. There is some good stuff. $10 for a beer in Thailand? Yikes. Hope not. Hey! Hello, Wanderlala. My partner and I are moving to BGC this year. Oh, we have an online business. What's your opinion on tax system over there? Complicated if you're running a business, but what are you going to be doing? An online business. If you're running an online business, then get the digital nomad visa. You don't have to be, it's literally in there. You don't have to pay any taxes. As long as none of your, and when I say none, they have a small percentage, but as long as your online business gets the vast majority, and you'll have to look up the exact percentage, the vast majority of the income outside of the Philippines, then you're fine. They do set the amount though, and then you don't have to pay any taxes, Philippine taxes. But if you are setting up a business here, complicated, there's a lot of taxes. I'm not saying don't do it. There's a lot of permits. Every year you have to spend the money, and then when you go to get the permit, they're like, well, did you get this? Did you get this? Did you get this? Did you get this? Did you go get the fire department? Did you go get the barangay? Did you go pay him? Did you go pay him? You get all these other things, and we'll give you one certificate over here. And there are different reporting people. Definitely use an accountant because it's. But anyway, but if you're doing an online business, look at the digital nomad visa. It has an exemption for your taxation. Again, as long as your business is America, Canada, that kind of thing. They do want you to spend it all in Philippines, please. That's the point of it. So they don't mind you making the money outside of the country and not paying taxes on it here, but they want you to spend it here. Put it into the economy. But I'm not a tax lawyer. I'm not giving any advice on that stuff. Just look at, you can just see, okay? It's crazy I have to say those things. I'm not. I'm definitely not. I think somebody's trying to get my attention on the beach. Good morning. Sorry, guys. What's that? Catherine? Oh, okay. 1 second. 1 sec, guys. I got to get Catherine. Somebody's looking for her. the movies. Oh, did everybody see Lara? I told her to go up and say hi. The lady wants some work, so we're going to put her to work. I'm going to have her do some planting of the gardens. I'm going to spread them out, make the whole area look nice, clean up the yard a bit, that kind of thing. Always happy to help out people. You know, that is the hardest part, is to find people who, there's always somebody that'll say, give me money. But if they come in and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, no, that's not the way to do it. Nothing good ever comes of it. Now, if they're elderly or if they are handicapped in some way, they don't have a lot of options. So I get that, and I always give that. But children, beggars, that kind of thing, I refuse, because it's just an incentive to keep doing it and to never change anything in life. And then, especially with the children, it's like one day that they all send their kids out at night every day to go find money and bring it back instead of going to school. And so you break the cycle, and I know I'm one person, not going to change it, but everybody's got to just like, no, I'm sorry, why are you not in school? Go to school. Well, my parents want me out making money. Well, if you don't make any money, guess what? Their only way to make money is to get you to go to school, and then you'll make money one day. I don't know. Anyway, so if somebody comes to you, says, I'd like some work, and you're able, give them work. Let them make money, earn it, and everybody wins. I don't mind doing that. I'll do that all day long. Whoo, Vegas, 111 Fahrenheit. Am I on Facebook? Yeah, I don't do it though, personally. So I have a team for that stuff. So TikTok, YouTube, or not YouTube. YouTube is mine. I don't let anybody into my YouTube. So, but TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, all that. I have social media teams. So what I do is I take my video that I make, and Catherine will send some photos that we took for the day or whatever. Something like that might happen. My team at the Beaver will always be taking pictures. They put them into a folder, that kind of thing. And anyway, they go through my videos and make clips, and they do all that stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. So some of them, you'll hear little sound effects and everything. You'll be like, that's not normally Michael's style. Yeah, that's not me. I don't do that stuff. I don't have time for that stuff. I stretch too thin as it is. So everything is done by them, and I don't have to worry about it and think about it. But when you're messaging me on there, keep in mind that it is possible a staff member will read it, a Filipino staff member. Don't put too private of information, but they don't generally have time to look at the messages anyway. And that Philippines Life Facebook is pretty much the best place to message me, because they don't even look at that. They don't have anything to do with that. But on Instagram, I don't have time to look at the messages on there. Some people I do sometimes, but you'll notice I get like 2 or 3 weeks in between. TikTok, I never check the messages, never. And the staff, their English isn't, they're good enough, but they're not conversationalists nonstop. And so, yeah, they'll kind of know what you mean, but they're just not going to be able to answer you. And so I'm never answering on there. Email is the best, obviously, that's just me. And Facebook Messenger. We're moving back to Siargao in 10 days, and of course, prices are inflated. Oh my God, by crikey, the amounts some owners are quoting are nuts for quality. Yeah, you find similar issues? No, Siargao is special. Oh. No, Siargao is like the pinnacle. Like, it's like Bali, right? It's like comparing Bali to some provincial town somewhere. Yeah, Bali, Boracay, El Nido, even Bohol now with Panglao. There are areas that are just getting very, 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 very pricey. Supply and demand, big demand in Siargao. Big, big, big demand. And people can get top dollar for everything. So it just brings everything up along with it. I was in Boracay when that typhoon went through in 2019. It was pretty rough. Yeah. Oh, geez. That'd be rough. Aloha. Technically can, and I'm not a lawyer here, but please consult a lawyer. I met many, many people, even back when I lived in Boracay, and I go and see his property, and the guy is a German, I think he was German, and he's like, yeah, so I'm looking to sell the property and everything. I was like, wow, this place is gorgeous on Boracay, really, really beautiful place. And he had owned it for like 25 years or whatever. And then he explains like how it works. Okay, well, it's the transactions in two pieces. The house is 100% in my name. That will be one price. The second part is the land. The land is a corporation. And he has lawyers that own 3 different lawyers that each own 20%. But they don't, because his preferred shares give him the dividends or disbursements. So he has the preferred shares that has disbursements and has the voting shares to just make decisions about the place. And the common shares are 60-40, but the preferred shares are just him. So like, you see how complicated it can get? So yes, it's been done. And so he was selling this thing. You would buy the corporation. You would make a deal with either 3 new lawyers or your 1 lawyer if you want, but that's more risk, right? You can give 1 lawyer 60% because the common shares are technically still the ownership. And but it would need a court to overturn preferred shares. And because big wealthy people in this country do it the same way, and there's a lot like big Chinese interests and Korean issues, stuff like that, that are quite powerful, known people, they're not going to overturn something that could set a precedent in this country. So very unlikely. Again, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I just know people have been doing it for decades upon decades, and they seem to have no problems. So there is ways, but you can't have it in your name personally. Now, you can, this is a thing, if you're married to a Filipina, have your name added to the title, but her name would always have to be there. Yours could, be removed, no problem, if you wanted to remove it, but you could never remove hers, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're just being added there. It's not the same. Now, if you lease a place for 50 years, your name could be added there saying exclusive use for period year this to this, even in the title or something, or there is a document that you can get so that you have it 100% legal binding, that it's yours for 50 years, right? So if you want to lease it for 50 years. And then also you can get transfer rights on leases and stuff like that. There are ways to get around all of this stuff, unless you plan to live for 50 years. If your plan is to be generational wealth for some future generation or something like that, leasing's not a bad thing. Yeah, Typhoon Odette, 2 motorbikes crushed by trees. Yeah, that was a big, like 2019 was really, really bad. That's 2019? Odette? Or was that Yolanda? I don't know. Yes, we have a couple of them here in Rojas City now. They're like tech guys, like online tech guys or whatever. And yeah, they're having a great time. Very pretty girlfriends. So they're doing very, very well. Yeah, we have some younger expats. Actually, it's becoming more popular. And if you go to, like our friends here in Siargao, we're talking about, Siargao is going to be 70% of the population of Siargao is now is foreign, number one. And I believe under 25, if not it's under 30, is the vast majority of the population. So it's mostly like what you see in Bali, young 20-year-olds, that kind of thing. That love the beanbags and the internet and that kind of thing. That's become a very big thing here. So Sikior, when I was there, that was the same thing. It was just packed. I felt like the oldest man there, okay? Like I was the oldest foreigner I could find, I feel like, on this island. It is all younger expats now, and they are all living there. The backpacker type thing. I'm friends with my ex, but we have a daughter together. You see, there's another thing, like a lot of people for security will also, they'll say, well, I'm not putting it in my Filipino's wife, but we have a kid together. They will put it in their child's name, and they are like a dual citizen, for example. And that really is like a big protection, because your plan was to one day leave it to them anyway. Perfect. Everybody wins. There'll be no transfer of it later on anyway. 30 to 40s is the most productive and the most money you'll ever make in your life. Yeah, it'd be dumb to leave your home country to travel unless you have a few 100,000 K a video. Yeah, well, there are some YouTubers in the Philippines that are making enormous amounts of money. Like I know some younger guys that you know, you can see they work a system, and they go to India first, then they go to a couple others, and then when they come to the Philippines, and they do bang, 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 bang. It's very structured, very organized, and they can get 2.5 million views on a video, or 150,000 to 500,000 on every video, that kind of thing. Yeah, those guys are making killer money, like better than any corporate job is going to pay you. And yeah, pretty awesome. 307 with only 260 likes. And actually, let me just tell you, 2,280 people have watched so far. So yeah, that's not very many likes at 296 likes. It's kind of sad. Lived there 3 years ago. Best advice, bring lots of patience. Don't be cocky. Someone will fix you quick. Yeah, I don't know if someone will fix you quick, but they'll just like shut you down. Like that sounds more like they're gonna, no, there's no violence in a lot of things here. Like that's really rare. But on principle, people will just be like, forget it. And they will just shut you right out of something, no problem. So for example, like you said about patience is so important. And if you know the guy's ripping off, and it's just like a crazy thing. You would think they'd be like, I know the real price. This is the price. Take it or leave it. The pride will say, nope. And he's just not going to take it. And he'll just rather get zero than the proper fair price. That's true. That's going to happen a lot here. And where you were better with putting a little sugar on it, sort of thing, right? And then maybe you can finally get the thing. Where we're used to people going, okay, relax, all right, deal, you know? They're not going to do that. This guy playing a drum as they're going by on a boat. Whew, okay, we're going really, really long on this. So I am going to get out of here soon, in a minute here. Where would you put a resort? El Nido somewhere, like there's some up and coming beaches in El Nido I haven't even been to, but I need to go there. And then I need to, Alona is such a big, like, Panglao, not just Alona. Alona is just that one beautiful beach, but there's other beaches there. But you gotta be like in a top spot would be the easiest thing to win. You know, all places here are selling out constantly too, right? Like the hotels that are relatively close to the beach, all selling out. Very regular selling out. It really wouldn't be a bad place. And yeah, there are talks right now with somebody else, a friend of mine, who he has a substantial amount of money, and he's saying some beautiful beaches that are, you know, El Nido. So, you know, I have somebody else that'd be interested. If we get enough people, then we could do it right. And all I can say is I learned a lot of lessons that could help me out if I were to do something like that. Get a hold of me, Ronald. I'll put people together if I have to. I don't even care if I'm involved in it or anything. I think it would be crazy to not put me in there because marketing is a given, but I'm okay either way. I know we're so close, Captain Sully. Thank you. Getting close to 100K. Okay, guys, my voice is going. Dying. Oh, Frank and Fell. Both bipolar check-in. Thank you, Frank. Sorry, I'm way behind on the comments, Frank, and I'm just kind of like scrolling really quickly down before I head out of here. But Frank and Fell, great people, great guys. Go to Iloilo. You'll see them around for sure. Hello, brother. Hello. Oh, look at that. Other people are saying hello to him, too. Okay, so I had a great turn on my bipolar video. Bipolar Frank and Fell. It should be a new channel. Lara, you want to come say goodbye? Come here, baby. Just for a minute. Just for 1 minute. Okay, but just come here quick. I'm going to bring Laura over. Come on, baby. All right. Woohoo. Okay, little Laura. Will you tell everybody what's your favorite day?
Your birthday. My
Wow, your birthday? Wait, when is your birthday?
September 11th.
September 11? I know. September 11, eh? Wow, and today is July, wait. Today is July 13. So about 2 more months until it's your birthday. Look how sweaty you are. You've been running around. So do you like your movies on the big screen?
Yeah.
And you had a lot of friends here? You got to party all night, eh? You had a big fun? That's so awesome. Maybe for your birthday we'll do another one or something. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, right? Okay, say goodbye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
All right, she's a little hyper right now and doesn't want to sit still, but there we go. Catherine's just going over the plans. The lady to get some work done here at the house. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining. Sorry, Frank and Val, getting me in here just as I am heading out here. Thank you all for joining in here. Listen, thank you to all the members. If you don't know what members is, it's beside the subscribe. You'll see the word join. You can join as a member for like $3.99 a month. And it's certainly better than views, that's for sure, because you need a ton of views to equal that amount of money. And but it's really cool. You're helping out the channel. I appreciate it. You know, I love you guys either way. And thank you for joining in anyway, no matter what. But there you go. My email is always down in the thing there, as well as Messenger is always down in the description of every video. Can't think of anything else, but I'm going to turn it around here. I will invest. Okay, listen, you just email me, guys, and we can get enough people together. There are ways around. Like, we do have to worry about the 60-40 thing, but not really, because I have another friend of mine. He can put it all in his wife's name anyway. So, and he's got the bulk of the money that I'm pretty sure we could hold the 60-40 regardless. Yeah, we could do something cool, but it'd have to be like epic, right? Like to get everybody excited and to be awesome. And it can be done. It can be done. You know, like our friend Mo over here with his awesome restaurant. You would need a resort that like rivals something like that in a resort setting, in a top location. And it could be epic and it could be awesome. And really that's where the money is. Now I've realized everybody's all sold out everywhere. They're all charging, like, let's be honest, American prices, right? Yeah, it's good money. But there are different tax laws here and everything. That's why my friend, they called their island an inn, because it's one of the lowest tax rates that you can get is if you're an inn instead of a hotel or instead of a resort. There's all these things that you have to know. Anyway, guys, with Laura's favorite movie, listen, right now all she does is watch Like Nastya on YouTube. The girl has like, it's Russian father, American Russian, and daughter. And they have grown on YouTube so much that they have 250 million subscribers. How insane is that? That's all she talks about. But we went Superman. She loves Superman. I didn't. You know, it's a little modern-y, strange, not what you expect from Superman, but whatever. She loved it. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you have a partner there that's dual, and 45% tax on Australia. I know. It's all in, so Canada's 53 at the high end, and I know it's friggin' just crazy. And the one thing you will love about here in the Philippines is the land taxes are ridiculously low. So that's why people can have land and just put it for sale and not care if it doesn't sell for 10 years. It's because they aren't getting eaten up in land taxes. If the land taxes were really high, they would care, but they don't. You'll just buy a lot and just sit on it forever. It's like, whatever, I'm paying my, I don't know what it is, $40 a year or whatever in land taxes. It's how they get around it. It's not a big deal. But yeah, look at the top growth locations, which is Bohol. It matters. Bohol's a big area, but it matters where. Iloilo is considered. Clark, which is another one of the fastest growing areas in the Philippines. All that data is available online, though. It's really easy. Siquijor is another one that's growing like crazy. There are people that are thinking longer term and saying, buy in Guimaras, because it is super cheap right now. Like when I say super cheap, considering they've said, okay, go ahead and build the bridge. but there's already been delays in the bridge. They found out it's deeper than they thought. They don't have enough money to build the bridge. So there's this whole thing. Yeah.
I'm going home with her. I'm going home with her.
You're going home with her?
Yeah, right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to go play with her granddaughter. Oh, that's awesome. There you go. Good. I didn't know we were trying to get rid of Laura. Give her Laura on 1 hour show. The problem is right now, she wouldn't make it 10 seconds. She's like, but yeah, she watches this thing, and that's literally a father and a daughter who started a show with the mother filming, and now they're a massive production company, and it's still them filming in their backyard, but now they're uber wealthy, like Nastya. Anyway, have a great day. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. That Philippines Inn, that Philippines hotel, exactly. Well, no, how you legally, what you legally call something is entirely different than what you put out on the sign, believe it or not. Because the crazy thing is Philippines no-tel motel, nice. Here in the Philippines, even if a company is registered in America, for example, I wasn't allowed to be called the Canadian Beaver. Legally, I'm not the Canadian Beaver because Roots, the Canadian clothing company, owns the company name of anything that has anything to do with Canada and beaver. And I was like, what? They registered everything, every combination of Canada, beaver. I'm like, how can you register a company and a national animal? It doesn't make any sense. They shouldn't legally be allowed to do it, but they did. So anyway, so the Philippines checks everywhere in the world before letting you name your company. And so it's this crazy thing. So we're actually Canadian Beaver, one word. All one long word, bar and grill, as a registered company. So yeah, anyway, doesn't matter what you put on the sign. It's the document that matters. So you can call it whatever you want. All right, closest place to surf to Rojas City. We have 1 week of the year we can do it here, and that's about it when the real crazy waves come. It's not really a surf area, so you'll have to go to Siargao. Siargao is the number one, and then La Union is the other one. So the way up at the top of the country on the left-hand side, you got San Fernando, La Union. You've got Siargao. I'm not aware of anywhere else that it's considered surf places. I might, not know everything. Obviously, I don't know everything, but so. But that's your answer there. It's you need La Union and you need Siargao. So Siargao would be the closest, I guess. It's still pretty far away. Yeah, I think you need that. You need the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean, right, to give you that gigantic waves. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful time. We're back on The Godfather for one more series, part 2 for Catherine's cultural lesson about the mafia. Something like that. All right, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for my members that have joined us here. And thank you all for joining in. And we'll see you all soon. I'm going to give you a little beach view so that the delay has enough time to catch up. No, I better do it the other way, actually. There we go. There's a bunch of people out there swimming in the distance, but the tide is coming in heavy right now. You can see it's getting real close, but it won't come in much more. Maybe another 10 more minutes of it, and then it'll go back out. But yeah, people don't care. There's no beach left. They're still swimming. That's those rental houses down over there. But it sure is paradise. Well, guys, I think that's it. All right. Time for me to go. Catherine and Laura and myself, we're all going to do a family photo shoot. We've been planning for a little while now, and excited to do it, I guess. I guess. Sad I'm saying it, I guess. But anyway, yeah, I am. It's nice. It'll be good to have family photos, but it's more for her. She likes the whole, let's post these cute pictures on Facebook. The things we do for family. Anyway, it'll be fun. So we're gonna get dressed and everything. We're waiting for this tide to come out a bit more. It's already starting to go out slightly. Probably another hour and a half. We'll have enough. And yeah, because I do have all my camera equipment because I used to be a photographer. So I have everything we need and tripod and everything. So we're gonna get it all set up and do this photo shoot. So thank you for joining. I just put it there because there were so many of you. You're still here. I'm like, well, maybe you guys want to see the beautiful view. Plus, it's like an ASMR thing, right? We had a long period there, like half an hour of just listening to the crashing waves. And you can see and appreciate what I appreciate every single day about living in here. And people are like, why you spend this money on your rental or whatever? Because this is my life now, and this is amazing. And yeah, I know, one day I got to give it back to the landlord and he's going to get a lot more money. I'm not going to worry about that. I worry about my today, every day. I could have a heart attack tomorrow. But at least I know I lived a beautiful, amazing life. And for the costs that you can't even imagine, right? Like at the end of the day, when you include everything and the period of my lease, you're going to spend $500 a month to live like this. Like, okay, US dollars, but still, absolutely amazing. So I'm not going to complain. All right, guys. So thank you very much for joining. We'll see you all again soon. Appreciate you very much. And goodbye to all of you. And now that I talked, I have to give it another 40 seconds. Thank you, Dale Day. Thank you. And I did talk about the business, by the way. FNQ was. Are you happy with the business, turning profit, all that great stuff? Yeah, so I did mention all that. And I have brought it up before anyway about the location, that it's, on a Monday to Thursday, the beach is pretty dead. So it's not the most ideal location. One day, better location would definitely do a lot better. Or this location will eventually become a top destination. But until then, this is where we are. Okay, guys, thank you again for joining. See you later. Bye-bye.